are live.
That's right, baby. We are back. So we should always start our podcast with not just saying hello there. We could be like, we're back, baby.
Yeah, let's not say hi to people.
No.
I agree.
I'm talking about that. No, I'm talking about having an interesting...
Okay, goodbye.
No, you sound like your sister. Every time I'm like, okay, guys, I guess that's it. She's like, okay, bye. And I'm like, no.
Okay, hi.
Make it interesting. No, okay, never mind. You know what? Forget it. That was a waste of time there. Okay. Well, okay, never mind. We're going to go back to hi, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Reddit Randos podcast here.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys. Hi, buddy.
Hope you find your dad.
Bye, buddy. Hope you find your dad. Okay. Okay, back to business. With that brief interruption. We're going to be here for another episode of Random Stories with my main man, Justin.
Hello.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to get it on later, right? Okay. I love you so much. Okay. We're just a little giggy. Okay, guys. If this is your first episode, I'm so sorry for the introductions. I'm your host, Rebecca, and I have with my husband, Justin. That's why he's my main man. But we're here today to tell some random stories off the internet of Reddit. Wonderful, wonderful Reddit world out there of fun stories, random stories, weird stories. We got stories of all kinds. That's how random we are. That's why we are literally called the Randos.
Sad.
Happy, sad. Oh, my word. So, first story, we're going to get right into it. Because, I mean, we've been busy lately. We've had quite the busy summer already. But we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about it at the end. But we'll just start off with our first story for the day. It's going to be a long one. I just figured we'd start off the first one with the longest one. Because there's quite a few updates. And I want to make sure we get through them. But it is quite an interesting story. And that's why I wanted to share that with you here, Justin, because it's about roommates.
Oh.
So, and you've always had terrible roommates.
I don't like roommates.
No.
I'd never have a roommate, I don't think.
No, you've never had a roommate other than me.
No, I said I don't think I would ever have a roommate.
No, never.
I like doing my own thing.
You do. And I let you do your own thing.
We're not roommates, we're married. So,
well,
I mean...
That's true. We're roommates with benefits. No.
I don't know.
With a mortgage.
You take my money.
Well, roommates do that to each other.
No, they don't. I don't let a roommate touch my money. No way.
Okay, so the story, I had it originally when it came out, and it was on r/Mark Narrations, but it actually just recently I don't know if it got deleted or suspended, I don't know, but for some reason it's not showing it on there anymore, so either somehow maybe OP violated some kind of rules where the admins had to take it off. But the good thing is, best of Redditor updates, or bore updates, they actually got the whole thing. So thank goodness for them, because we got the whole story still here, even though it was deleted. So you really don't know. Anything that's posted on the internet can never fully be deleted.
Dun, dun, dun.
Someone always gets a screenshot in, or gets it saved before it actually goes away. So be aware of those out there.
It's like Santa Claus. They see you.
Oh my word! I was like, "Where are you going with this?" But
sees
now
you all the time.
He sees you when you're sleeping. He sees you when you're awake. He knows when you've been bad or good. So be good, for goodness sake.
We know that song.
When you hear that song, honestly, as a kid, you never think about it. But as an adult, it's pretty creepy.
Sees me when I go poo.
Justin.
What?
Do we have to bring poop on here?
It's nasty.
I need to do another poop episode with you.
Ugh.
I know. Okay. So, this one is called Am I the a-hole for not telling my roommates and sister I am the owner?
Oh.
Yeah, not only the roommates, but sisters.
I wouldn't tell my sisters anything either.
Really?
Let them know I'm the owner.
Like, they wouldn't just know, like, oh, you just offering us to live in this big house that you already live in? Like...
Well, I wouldn't do that, so.
No. Okay. Okay, it is kind of a long story, so everyone buckle down. I'm going to try and go through it as smoothly as possible. So this originally happened very recently. It was June 24th of this year, 2025. It says, it starts off as, I, 33 female, bought my home right before the pandemic. The world shut down and I shut into my remote work with the solitude and comfort of a natural introvert. The house was extra large and I only really could afford it because the family selling was in need of a quick sell. The house has a finished attic and basement, which were easily converted into not so many apartments. The basement has its own entry point and also connects into the main house. There are 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, and a master room has a walk-in closet. During the this sounds like a deal. Like, this is a steal here. Man, how does this one person be able to afford that?
We don't even know how much they got it for yet, so.
It was before the pandemic, so I'd say they got it for a good price.
Yeah, but they didn't put the price, so we don't know.
Yeah. Well, I heard there was quite good steals of houses during the pandemic, or like right before. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. During the pandemic, my sisters were both hit hard and quickly needed to downsize as their own roommates moved back home. My sisters, 25 female and 27 female, and I do not have such a luxury, so I offered them rooms at below market rate and told them that they need to supply their own food. The rent was really to help with increase in bills. They were both still in school at the time, but also working. This arrangement gave them both more breathing room financially. Then a girl they both knew was evicted from her home with her boyfriend because the family they rented from needed the home back. I offered the basement at near market rate, though still a little under as I felt bad and it is a basement apartment. After that, a friend of a friend heard about my arrangement and asked if there was any room left. I gave him the attic apartment for another near market rent. Rental agreements were drafted up for each person. I explained the basic rules, the rent, and how long they would have if rent was not received. I told them to read it and return it to me when signed. I left them each with their own copy. I collect the rent the first Saturday of the month. They leave the name blank on the checks for me to fill out, and I always thought it was because they were afraid of misspelling my stupidly unique name and having the check bounce as a result. Apparently not. The issue: I still have one free room in the main part of the house, but I use it as my office and it locks up. My friend knows my sisters, and they got to chatting up while out together. They bumped into each other during a day out. My sisters mentioned the extra room, and my friend has a cousin, 18 female, who was still will be starting college in our city, and asked if my landlord would rent it out to her. I brushed over the comment because I thought there was a miscommunication and told her the room wasn't for rent as I use it as my home office. She asked if I was paying for the room, and I told her, why would I pay for a room in the house I own? She got a little quiet, apologized for pushing, and told me the struggle it's been to find a spot for her cousin. I told her all of my tenants are solid until December when renewals go out. I can offer her a spot if someone moves out, but I stressed it was unlikely as everyone gets along, stays out of each other's business, and it works well for them. Well, we dropped the topic. A few days ago, my sisters asked me how the talk went, and I said it went okay, but her cousin won't be moving in. They asked why, and I explained them the situation above. They suggested I move my office to my bedroom or the main room, and stop paying rent for an extra room to save costs. When I asked what they meant, they said, well, you do pay rent for the extra space, right? No. I then asked if they knew I was the landlord, and they were floored. They never actually read the agreements they have been signing. So she put it in the paperwork. Like, seriously, that's where reading the fine print actually does come in handy. They went off on me about how I should have told them and that they shouldn't have to be paying rent to family. I told them the rent was to cover their increase in bills. I wasn't going to house them for free when they made enough to cover a fair share on a shared expense. If they would rather full market rent on the rooms they were currently in, I could arrange that that come renewal. By now they could afford it with their jobs and having saved money on rent for 5 years. They called me an a-hole for holding rent above their heads. This then leaked to the tenants as they talked about the issue to their friends in the basement. While their rent is more than just for bills, it is not the market rent value I could get out of the space despite them having income and no family to support. They came to me to ask that I lower the rent, as if being friends with my sisters was enough reason as I was the landlord and not somebody they didn't actually know. The deal they had no longer seems in their favor, apparently. I told them they had until December to decide if they wanted a renewal because it was not going to be lowered. They are now acting like I am kicking them out when all I said was now that they fully understand their position, they needed to make a choice to stay as with their current cost and annual adjustments as needed, as was our agreement, or begin the process of looking at rent prices that have skyrocketed at other places, and it's much harder to find a place. The adjustments do not include knowing I am the landlord. My attic tenant asked if I was cleaning house and basically begged I don't kick him out. He's
like, I didn't do anything.
He's like, what's going on? His family turned their back on him because of conflicting views. Personally, his views don't bother me. His family's, though, ish. I explained it all in detail, and he was like, wait, I always knew you were my landlord because it's in the rental agreement. But he also never put my name down because it's hard to spell. So he actually did it for the reason she thought.
Yeah.
The other ones didn't know. Now everyone is upset with me, and I feel unwelcomed in my own hell.
Except for the attic guy.
Yeah, except for the attic guy. He's pretty cool. So
He's chill.
Now everyone is upset with me, and I feel unwelcomed in my own home. Am I the a-hole? Would I be the a-hole if I didn't renew one or all of their leases because of this hostility I feel?
No, I mean, it is her house.
Yeah, no, seriously.
They don't have to live there, and
it's crazy that it's her own sisters, too, that are getting after her.
She probably shouldn't be in a house with her sisters.
No, I'm sorry. Family is very tricky when you're getting money involved. I mean, she said it in the agreement. I don't know how it never came up in the conversation of, wow, this is a cool house. Like, who owns it? And she didn't, like, it, I don't know how that never came up in a conversation.
They're probably dumb.
I would just...
I don't know how you wouldn't know that.
No, I don't know how that never came up. Like, either
I wouldn't live somewhere where I wouldn't know who I'm actually... Like,
yeah, I'd like to know, like, whose house is this? Like, how did you even get this house? And then that's literally would be, oh, it's actually my house. I bought it. I had a steal of a deal.
The attic guy has a head on his shoulders.
No, honestly, he does. Honestly, he read the fine print. He's a smart dude. Okay, so there's a quick edit. Our lives have been a mess of social services and foster care as children, all aging out at 18. I didn't go out of my way to tell them about me buying a house, partly out of guilt, and they came to me for leads or on places to live in a time of need. The guilt comes from not taking them in when I had the opportunity at 18. I would have had to jump through massive loops, and I did not feel prepared to care for myself. Let alone another couple of kids I hardly knew since we were all been separated often. We reconnected when they aged out and built from there. We also do not share the same last names as we each have different fathers. Okay, so they're talking about last name for writing the check. Mm-hmm. It's spelled differently. How do they not how to spell their own names if they were sisters? They all have different names.
Oh, yeah.
They were all in foster care, so they all didn't really grow up together. So they knew each other, but were not familiar in what they were doing in their lives. So that, that makes sense. Like, I'm guessing that's what the questions were asked about. A couple of comments said, someone said, people who fail to read contracts are not your problem. Definitely not the a-hole. I mean,
I agree.
I agree. If you're going to get yourself in a place, especially a rental agreement, you need to read it. Like, goodness. Okay, so another person said, I love the family should be free sentiment. I'd ask them, you really believe that? How do I support you? Pay your rent or leave. I'd even consider finding a reason to evict all of them right now. Okay, I'm not dealing with any of y'all's stupidity. Y'all are being evicted and start drawing up papers. So just people are just, this is making it quite stupid that they're going on about this now, especially the people in the basement. Like, how can you think that you can just ask to lower your rent just because now you know who the landlord is?
Like, they only asked once they knew who the landlord was.
Well, that's not her fault that they didn't know who the landlord was.
Because they didn't read the paper.
Exactly, they didn't read the paper. Like, everyone's an idiot here except for the attic dude. He's the actual like the guy, like you said, he's got a good head on his shoulders. Okay, that's funny. Someone said, did they ever meet a landlord? Why would you be handling all the house affairs if you didn't own it? Your sisters and their friends are not very bright.
That's what I was saying.
Someone said, the guy who commented, he said, from my conversation with Mr. Attic, he said they framed it like I was something like an RA at a dorm, responsible for supervising the house. He thought it was odd, but didn't want to rock the boat, so he knew. He's like,
I'm not going to ask
he's the new guy, yeah. He's like, and with little choice to go elsewhere, I think my sisters did the same with the basement people. That's hilarious. Okay. So basically the consensus was OP and Mr. Attic are not the a-hole, but everyone else is.
Yeah, Attic dude. We call him A-dude.
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 A-dude. Okay. So there was update number 1, 3 days later. Hello, everyone. I wanted to thank everyone for taking the time to read my last post and offer up their advice, comments, thoughts, and judgment. I took some of the advice given and have taken the don't rent to the family or friends again to heart. So I'm going to jump into the update. I'm going to try and break it down bit by bit before going into it all. First note, Mr. Attic. I'm keeping him. I pulled him aside first, and separately I told him I would not be renewing the others' leases in December and asked if he would want to rent the basement for at market value. He turned it down, asking to keep the attic as he is comfortable there. I told him it would probably be in his best interest to let the others believe this as a whole house clean out so he doesn't get caught in the crossfire. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. He agreed and went out of his way to turn his social media to private. He also sent me screenshots of a group chat he had been added to. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's so funny. Okay, second thing, the group chat. My sisters and the other pair of tenants started up a group chat to talk bad about me being so uncompromising. There we go. Sorry, I was having a word there. Okay, so they were talking bad about me being so this is so hard. Uncompromising. It's like I want to say it really quick all together, and I can't. Uncompromising and greedy. They were coming up with ideas to not pay rent or to only pay in part. The basement tenants joked about one of them losing their jobs so they could ask for leniency since I was too stuck up to be kind to them about the rent.
No.
Number 3, the harassment. My sisters and Mr. and Mrs. Basement had told their friends and the families of Mr. and Mrs. Basement about the rent, the lies, and my inability to consider outside perspective and need. I have a steady stream of calls, DMs, text, and posts directed at me since before I made my last post, which is what prompted me to post. I made my accounts private, disabled some of the messaging functions, and told the 4 of them to get this to stop before I got my lawyer involved. Spoiler, they didn't.
Dun dun dun.
So after taking a night to think about it, I brought the group together to have a discussion about the rent and situation. My sisters looked smug, and Mr. and Mrs. Basement kept sharing knowing looks. I told them bluntly I was not going to renew leases in December because their actions, attitudes, and lack of consideration has made me feel unvalued, humiliated by their family, and unwelcome in my own home. I told them if they found an apartment or place to go before December, I wouldn't charge them for breaking the lease. If there was any damage anywhere, they would not get their security deposits back until the pricing out was settled. If there was more damage than their security deposit, they would have to be taken to court. I told them I was done being kind and understanding to people who thought so lowly of me. I also warned them I could and would break the leases myself if I felt the need, in which case they would have 30 days. This person is very well knowledged in the renting
Well, yeah.
arrangement.
If you're letting people stay in your place.
I mean, okay, she is in her 30s, so I get, like, she probably does, I don't know, maybe she works in an area where she has to do, like, these documents and coming up with the paperwork.
I think it would be dumb to let people stay in your place and not know your stuff.
No, that's just, like, I don't know, she's just very well knowledge in this, and I think that's great on her hand because you know how many people could just take advantage of her. Honestly, these people wanted to take advantage of her, and she's definitely not allowing that. Okay, so it was immediate chaos. A lot of yelling, insults, and cursing. Even Mr. Attic.
I was going to say, he probably had to pretend. I was going to say, was Mr. Attic come on this and being like, you're stupid. How dare you?
So, even Mr. Attic, but he was yelling at the others for getting him kicked out when he didn't do anything.
Oh, boy, that's a good way to start it.
That honestly is a good way because he could be like, if he didn't hear this from her ahead of time, he could have been like, what the heck? Why'd you guys do this? I was doing just fine.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. He made an epic show of storming up to the attic and slamming the door. He sent me laughing emojis and texted that he wasn't going to be able to keep a straight face a little later.
Oh, well.
I like this guy. I really like this guy. Oh my word. Yeah, that's the only guy. And what was this? A friend of a friend?
Yeah, something like that.
It was a friend of a friend. That's like the craziest thing. It wasn't anyone even close to them. That's hilarious.
Those are the best.
Those are the best. Okay. I waited for them to stop yelling, and when they demanded what they would do, I set a stack of ads for apartments and houses for rent in the nearby area and said they would have to start looking now. I mean, she was nice enough to even do that for them. Okay, I told my sisters I would help pay for their moving truck, but told the basement tenants they would have to ask their families to help moving out. Mr. Basement picked up the stack of papers and his eyes went wide. He stared at me and asked if I was frickin' serious. I told them the prices listed were not mine to judge, change, or deal with. I reminded him his current place was below market because I had a say in it. Market prices for one bedrooms in the area was well over $1,500 a month. If he wants near his work and close enough to walk to stores and things, so he currently has a 2-bedroom for less than that. My sisters grabbed some of the papers and the 27-year-old started crying because she couldn't afford an apartment on her own. She told me about her student loans and credit card debt. Oh, girl, that's your fault. I told her, too bad. I gave you a good deal out of kindness, and you sent me an army after me. I would have considered letting you stay if you hadn't been so nasty. Yeah, you got to be careful. I told all of them that they could probably swing a 2-bedroom between the 4 of them and got up and left.
True.
This is savage. I love it. Oh, my word. They refused to talk to me now. My sister spent the night in the basement apartment, and I could hear her shrieks and crying if I walked by the door that leads down there. I feel a little bad, but I reread your comments to keep my sanity. As for if I want them out, I can give them 30-day notice since they are inside my own home. I checked and I double-checked with the lawyer, and this information had been in their rental contracts. If I do have to kick them and they try to refuse to leave and drag it out into court, which they don't have the money for, I have been given some handy advice by a fellow landlord who had to remove his own brother. I can't remove them by force, but I can make living there entirely uncomfortable there. Nothing stops me from taking doors off hinges or start remodeling while their stuff is in the way.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing stops me from turning off the water or electric for their sections of the house during remodeling. Quick edit, just for remodeling purposes, it wouldn't be done so to make them leave, but they can't stop me remodeling as squatters. It might seem like an a-hole thing to do, but they would be the ones to start it, and I actually do want to repaint and do some adjustments.
Wouldn't be anything wrong. It's her property.
The reason I'm leaning on evicting them by August is because the harassment has gotten so much worse now that there is an actual non-renewal happening. I'm leaving my phone on silent and collecting messages, voicemails, emails, and other things to hand off to my lawyer next week. I told them to call off their dogs, and they haven't. I asked Mr. Attic if he knew anyone who would need a place and to let them know, or to let me know. He has a few friends from his community who seemed interested, as they either live with roommates or family and want out. If anyone has any questions this quiet morning, I will try to answer them. Another quick edit was, I have cameras outside in common rooms, facing the front and back doors, the hallways upstairs, and the door leading to the basement. The tenants have access to the entry point. One's like Mr. Attic has the hallway to his area. Mr. and Mrs. Basement have the feed that leads to their door inside the main house, and they all have outside camera access. I'm thinking of cutting access to the outside cameras for them. They can't do anything to the feeds as they are guests in the system, so they can't delete anything, and my access automatically saves an extra external system. I might just cut them all out of the system except Mr. Attic for peace of mind. Also, I keep seeing people ask about our family. There are no parents and no family from our side. My sisters have no relationships with their fathers or families. Mine had been killed due to his own actions. There is no sympathy for the likes of him. And his family shunned him, so they shunned me as well. And our mother is a cup of ash left at the funeral home. Oh my word, that's so sad. This person's gone through it all. But they probably have now the guts to be able to do this to the house, the people in the house.
They should.
Yeah. All right. So comments to that top one was, "What a relief this update is. I was concerned that you would have allowed them to stay only to see the household moral denigrate to the extent that you loathe being in your own home. Good on you with your shiny spine. Until they are gone, however, I would err on the side of caution and consider installing some cameras." And that's what the quick edit was for. Okay, yeah, people were talking about installing cameras in case something happens since they are being harassed.
Yeah, cameras make sense.
It does. Honestly, it's your own home.
Most people already have
You
that.
are the landlord. Yeah, honestly, most people already have them. And you are at this point getting harassed. So it's only on the cautious side that you do that for your own safety.
Mm-hmm.
You can say, I don't feel safe in my own home, so I'm doing this. All right.
That's true.
Update number 2 is posted 8 hours after that first update. Hey everyone, I am very tired. Thank you all for your kind words and wonderful advice. On to the update. Mr. Attic's friends, 2 have agreed to take the bedrooms my sisters are currently occupying when they move out. I've met them, we talked at length, and they are wonderful people. Mr. Attic, you are a gold star person. One helped me change the tire on my car because it ended up being flat just after our meeting, and she was incredibly kind and showed me how to change it. Like, she walked me through it step by step, letting me do it, but just explaining how. I can't believe I've never changed a tire before. Weirdly embarrassing. Hey, I can already tell those are good people right there. Next part is the harassment and lawyer. The lawyer sent a cease and desist to everyone that had contacted me. Then he went on and filed for restraining orders of protection and a claim for slander, defamations. There were many posts with me tagged or with my name claiming I was an unfit landlord, a slumlord, a greedy biatch, a homewrecker, because I apparently came onto Mr. A homewrecker because I apparently came on to Mr. Basement.
Oh.
Haha, so funny because he is fugly. And you couldn't pay me to touch that. And more. These things take time, but there was an almost immediate drop off calls, messages, etc. Mr. and Mrs. Basement have been served their notice. They have helped spread lies and deception. They have ceased all communication with me, but they only have 30 days, and I have posted notes on their porch reminding them every day how long they have. Oh my goodness. You have 29 more days.
And 5 hours.
Right? Counting down the days and hours and minutes. Okay. I've seen them starting to take smaller things out today, which is what prompted this update. Mrs. Basement can be heard crying a lot if I stand by the top of the stairs. I think they might be moving back in with family, which is what they had been avoiding by moving into my basement. Her mother is toxic. Her father has a new wife who hates her. And Mr. Basement's family dislikes her enough to outright ignore her or tell her to her face that she isn't family, especially because she won't give her boyfriend a family. Spoiler, she can't have kids due to medical stuff, and they aren't even married. Goodness, that sounds really bad. Well, then they should have been nicer and grateful that they had a place, because now look what they have to do.
Yeah.
That's some
people, it just doesn't go through their head.
Hurt people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Group chat. I have screenshots of their group chat, courtesy of Mr. Attic, and there is a lot of evidence of them feeding lies to others, talking all about how they told this person this or that person that. Mr. Basement made the claim I came on to him, and his girlfriend went nuts. I think she doesn't know he lied about it just to make it more believable to others. Oh, that's so bad. When he first made the claim, she blew up my phone and social media before dragging it to others. My sisters weren't surprised by my behavior. That stung. I have never done anything like that in the past. My sisters, they also have their notices. The 25-year-old is already moving in with a couple of friends who think I am horse crap. They come every so often to help her move things, and they send me nasty looks and make loud intentional comments for me to hear. She has been dumping my food into the trash and dumping it down the sink. I just got a mini fridge for my room, and she spends nights screaming at my locked door. That's... Okay. I take my work to a local cafe, rather multiple ones, or a library now because she will just shriek anytime she thinks I'm working. Oh my goodness, that's so immature. I make it vary, and I don't go to the same place twice in the room. Oh my goodness, she just shrieks every time she comes over by the door, just so...
It's alright, eventually her voice will wear out.
That is so dumb. That is so immature. Grow up.
Just encourage it. Louder. Louder. Come on.
Yeah, you got it.
I'm working. Louder.
The 27-year-old has turned to begging for me to let her stay as she can't afford to live on her own, and she has no one willing to take her. Her boy toy, didn't even know she had one, broke up with her when he got the cease and desist from the lawyer. He was one of the ones causing problems, but once the lawyer stepped in to bat, he bounced. According to Mr. Attic, he heard her telling someone something along the lines of he could move in if he helped her get me to leave her. No, wait. This is like a lot of words. So he heard her telling someone something along the lines of he could move in if he helped her get me to leave or back down because it's family property. She had been taking a call outside, and I caught the proof on camera because he told when and where to look for it. Oh my word, family property? She was going to lose that one pretty quickly.
It's not family property.
No, it's under the sister's name, and it's not even the same last name, so nope, can't even do that. Quick edit, my sisters are not moving in together because they each blame each other. They also blame the basement tenants while they blame my sisters. They all collectively blame me as well since I'm just pure evil, but they think each of them pushed me to do it. Oh my word, this is so funny. Cameras. Only Mr. Attic still has access. The cameras were not part of the rental agreement, and everyone lost their dang minds when I took away the access. They tried covering them or adjusting them, but I warned them they would be held liable for damage and anything else I could get if they did that again. Now I get middle fingers, an aggressive stance, and stares into the cameras. This has got to be so, like, it's not funny probably then, but it's hilarious now. It's like, it's got to be so comical at times. I'm sure I'm missing things. I just can't sleep, and I'm swamped with getting them out, with work and with trying to fill their places, and getting the basement redone before going back on the market. I mean, I do feel bad for her because she probably doesn't feel safe in her own home.
Probably.
Yeah. Let's see. Comment for that was, good Lord, who needs enemies, eh? Like that they saw the rental prices and that you were giving them a good deal and still blame you? That is ridiculous. Just selfish group, they think. I'd say they all have a lot of growing up to do. I think you were absolutely right to call a halt to it. Horrible way to live. Good luck.
I agree.
No, I agree. Holy cow, these people are entitled and incredibly dumb for still piling on. Glad it's underway, and congrats on learning to fix a flat. Hope the flat was not caused by your tenants from hell. Sure. Yeah. So she had responded saying, I hadn't even thought of that. It makes me very uneasy. Someone had responded saying, I feel so bad for you. I'm surprised that your sisters are not moving to the same place together. Remind the 27-year-old that she had a good thing until she ruined it. She has no one but herself to thank for that situation. Put a calendar and keep a countdown on it. It leaves it as a visual then that it's coming to an end. Alright. And that's it. There's no more. That's the end of it.
They haven't left yet. They're about to.
Oh, no. I have a feeling we're going to get more of an update from this person.
Probably.
Now, I don't know why we can't see anything unless because she's got lawyers involved.
That's a good chance.
I'm wondering if something did end up having to go to court and now she's got to take this down for protection purposes for court. So I'm wondering if that's what happened. So my thoughts and prayers go to OP out there because I bet it's not an easy situation you've been going through. I mean, you've been taking it like a champ. Seriously, I would have broke under pressure not wanting to be with these people. My mental health would have been all over the place, always checking over my shoulder to make sure no one was going to be like doing something. You just never know these people in your own family. That's what sucks. It's your own family that's causing problems. Mr. Attic, you are the gold star in this story. You made this fun. This story probably was the only good thing that came out of it for OP. I mean, any last thoughts on that story?
No, she's not wrong.
No. Well, I will definitely keep this in my feed because I'm going to see if this person ever posts another story. Because usually a lot of times when these stories happen and there's a court involved, they'll take it off and then after everything happens in court, they'll post it back up again, or they'll say, hey, I'm updating after everything's happened from court. And they'll tell the rest of the story. Oh, they'll get approval to tell the rest of the story. But yeah, I have a feeling because this somehow got deleted and she has it's nowhere on her page. Yeah, I would say there's something going on with the courts. So, okay. Well, OP out there, if you're listening, update us as soon as you can once the court has gone through, if that's what it is. If not, you should just still update us because for your sake, we want to make sure you're still okay. Like, we want to make sure the story ends up good, that they're out and you got those new roommates and everything's good again. You know. So, all right, I guess we're gonna move on to the next story now. Okay, so the next one, we're gonna do a few from r/entitled people because, you know, we love hearing about how people think they're so entitled.
Of course.
Yeah. So this one is from 19 days ago. It's called Entitled Guy Tries to Convince My Wife to Let Him Break My Office Rules.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. I let some people use the meeting room in my office for their business meetings in the evenings for a couple of weeks. It was an MLM group my friend was a part of. I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I told my friend they couldn't use the Wi-Fi for security reasons. Seems reasonable. My wife worked for me, and she stayed at the office while the people were there one meeting. This guy, who I've never met, comes up to her with a cocky, entitled attitude and says, "I need the Wi-Fi password. Give it to me." Ooh, goodness, so demanding. She told him he can't have it. He responded, "No. I know, your boss," insert my name here, "said we could have it. You know him, right? I don't want to have to call him and get you in trouble for not giving me the password." Oh, buddy. You're barking up the wrong tree here. This is not the person you want to say that to. My wife's response, "Yes, I know him. I sleep in the same bed with him every night. Go ahead and call him. Let's see how that conversation goes." Ooh.
Oh, no.
I bet she's been waiting to say to someone that. The guy scurried off with his tail between his legs. So, just a funny thing where you can't just expect things to happen, especially when that happens. That's like the worst thing to happen to you if you're trying to like show your like power move.
You just don't demand things. You usually just ask for it.
Yeah. Like, who thinks that they get things done by just demanding things? Like, come on. People don't want to actually do anything for you if you're going to just demand it from them. Especially if they don't have any, like, business with you.
Give me Wi-Fi. I tell on you.
No, I think the funniest part was that it was the wife of the boss. "You know the boss, right? You don't want me to call him and get you into trouble."
Yes, I do.
And she's like, "Oh, please do get me in trouble with my boss."
She's like, "Don't threaten me with good time."
Right? That's exactly what that should be used for. I wish she would have said that. That was awesome.
Make my day.
Make my day. Right? Okay. Next story for r/entitled people was, my friend said I owe her half of my inheritance because her family didn't have that. This is 25 days ago. So my great aunt passed away and left me a decent inheritance. Nothing wild, but enough to pay off my student loans and set aside a little savings. I told my friend, we'll call her Rachel, over lunch. She got quiet. Then she said, "Wow, must be nice. I bet you'll help out your friends who weren't so lucky growing up." Like, who says that? Who says that to someone? I laughed and said something like, "I mean, I'll probably treat my friends to dinner more often." She stared at me and said, dead serious, "No, like actually help. We've known each other forever. I think it'd be fair if you split it." I thought she was joking. She was not. She then brought up all the time she covered my coffee in college and said, "This is just the universe evening the score." Needless to say, I didn't share a dime. She blocked me on Instagram and told our mutual friends I ghosted her after I got rich. Sorry, Rachel. The only thing I'm splitting is the check with people who actually support me.
Yeah, those aren't real friends.
No. Someone who literally brings up saying, "Oh, I deserve it more than you because I didn't have the best childhood growing up." No, that is so wrong. Everyone, if they got an inheritance, good for them, but
self-entitled.
Honestly, the thing you could do is just be her friend. Be her friend genuinely, and she would probably be wanting to help you more with something if you were in trouble.
It doesn't matter. It's called just being entitled.
Like, yeah, that is being very entitled.
You didn't do anything for it.
She's like,
breathe.
Like, we should split it. Like, who thinks? I don't know. I don't know how people think this way sometimes.
And why would you help someone else out expecting that they're going to repay you back right then and there, or now that you can hold that against them? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. No.
That's not a true friend.
That isn't a true friend. No, no, no. That is terrible. Okay, next one is from also r/entitled people. This is from 1 month ago. It says, friend wanted me to cancel my kid's party to attend her kid's party. I mean, I could see something like that happening if you had two friends that had birthdays around the same time and parents both planned it on the same day. I mean, they probably want to be at each other's birthday.
Then they're not.
So me and my two friends, all 33 female, have been in a trio since middle school. Ironically, all three of our oldest children have the same exact birthday, but different years. Oh, that's like kind of cool. A coincidence.
Weird. It's weird.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's kind of cool, but then it is a little weird. Like, how do they all get the same birthday? That's weird. Crazy. You think they planned it? Like some girls planned it?
It's weird.
Okay, me and Tanya have boys aged 8 and 10. Lauren has a 2-year-old daughter. Those are very different ages right there. That's very far. So a few months ago, Tanya and I decided to plan a bowling/laser tag birthday party for our boys. We told Lauren about the party and invited her. She said she would try to make it. Cool. The party was on a weekend, not the day of their actual birthday. A few days before the party, Lauren FaceTimed Tanya and I to invite us to her daughter's birthday party. It was for the same day as the boys' party. No big deal. It's the weekend after their birthday, so we knew the parties would eventually clash. We told her we wouldn't be able to make it, and we thought that was that. The day after the party, Tanya and I FaceTimed Lauren to ask how her daughter's party went. We saw pictures online and thought the decorations came out beautifully. We were all ears, just waiting on the details of baby girl's second birthday. Instead, we were met with anger. Lauren starts asking why we didn't show up. We were at our boys' party and she knew this. She then tells us we were supposed to cancel their party to come to her daughter's. When I asked her why she would think we would even consider doing that, she said a second birthday party was more important than 8 and 10, and we should have just picked a different day. I'm not one to argue, so I tell Lauren she's tripping and hang up the video call. The next day I noticed she logged me out and changed the password to a streaming account we shared. Is that serious? I guess to her it was. I haven't talked to Lauren since. Ugh.
Dun dun dun.
No, that's yeah, I don't know. There are certain people when they become parents, they get a little carried away and a little selfish. Like, it's less about the 2-year-old or less about the children and more about, like, I'm expecting you to be there for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and how can people really understand when she's like, she said it was fine. She literally told them the day that the birthday was happening, the birthday party, the person who wrote this.
Oh, yeah.
And the person's like, oh, I'll see if I can try and make it. And then she FaceTimed later saying, oh, I'm having my daughter's birthday party on that day. So they're like,
a couple days later.
Yeah, but that's
or
like
before.
Yeah, exactly. So then I'm surprised she didn't even mention like, oh, I'm sorry, it just worked out best that I had my own daughter's birthday.
'Cause she didn't care.
Yeah, so for them who planned and had set their scheduled day for their birthday party first, she expected them to cancel it. That's just, I'm sorry. You expect way too much out of people.
Women.
Don't even. Yeah, I know women can be crazy sometimes, but men can be just as entitled with certain things that I can't even understand.
Oh, it's a joke.
Oh, shush it.
Women.
Oh, my word. Okay, moving on. We gotta move on before I say something. Okay, I got a couple more stories here from Am I the A-Hole? So, this one is from 2 months ago, and it is from r/AITAH, because it's not exactly Am I the A-Hole, but kind of. Okay, so it says, so the person says, am I the a-hole for forcing my father's partner to take back a lie she told my children? Yeah. I'll preface this by saying I don't have the best relationship with my father and his partner, Blair. While I don't hate her, She is extremely obnoxious and childish. She's also horrible with boundaries. It feels like anytime someone tells her no, she hears maybe. She's been like this for as long as I've known her, but it's become harder to deal with since I had children, so I try to keep some distance. Anyway, Blair and my father are planning on going to Orlando in July. About a month ago, she asked whether me, my husband, and our kids, 7 male, 3 female, wanted to join them. I thanked her for inviting us, but said no, because we were planning on going next January, and there's a pretty big chance I'll have to work in July. Also, and I didn't say this to her, we've been to Orlando with her before, and my husband has stated he'd rather eat glass than do it again.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. A week later, Blair told me they were getting their tickets and asked me whether I was sure we wouldn't join them. I said I was. Days after that, my sister called me. Blair had told her that I was thinking about going. While inviting her and her boyfriend, I once again told Blair we wouldn't go. Finally, Blair asked me if I'd be okay with her and my father taking my kids to Orlando. I said no, because we're not even in the same hemisphere as the U.S., and I wouldn't let my young children travel to a different country without me or my husband. Last week, my sister babysat my kids while my husband and I went out. While we were gone, Blair visited to drop off a gift she and my father had brought for my husband. She also took the opportunity to tell my children we were all going to Orlando in July.
Oh.
I know. My daughter didn't care about it much at first. I think she didn't really register it. She is 3, but my son got very excited right away. He kept talking about how much he wanted to go to Disney and asked about the trip. And after watching her big brother like that, my daughter jumped on the bandwagon with him. It was both heartbreaking and infuriating to watch them like that. I called Blair and said she had 2 options. Either she told my kids she lied and they weren't going to Orlando, or I did. I added that if she told them, she'd have the opportunity to apologize and explain herself. But if I did, I would not do that for her. Blair chose to call my children herself. I kept the phone on speaker to make sure she was apologizing, explaining everything, and making it clear we wouldn't go to Orlando in July. Both my children, especially my son, were upset, but my husband and I had to talk with them and managed to cheer them up. My father texted me yesterday. He said that he didn't appreciate the way I dealt with this. Blair is still upset and thinks my kids are mad at her now. He wants me to apologize or at least try to get my kids to forgive her, but I don't see why I should. She was the one who lied to my children, and I'm not responsible for Blair's feelings. We're still on this back and forth, and I can tell neither of us is particularly proud about this. Am I the a-hole?
No. Blair is a terrible, terrible
No,
person.
I'm sorry. You have to tell this person so many times. Like, when are they going to get it? When is the point of getting it? Like, you sometimes have to be a little mean to get something through to someone.
You have to be rude in order for her to get it.
Yeah. And I feel like I don't get it. I don't know why Blair, after being told no so many times, went and told the kids. That's a low blow.
Because she doesn't get told no.
No, you can tell
Probably
the
never been
father
told no before.
spoils this wife of his. No, that's, and the person who wrote this, they put their username as No Orlando.
No Orlando.
Okay, so there is an update about, I don't know how many, it's in the same month or something. So 2 months ago, update. I want to start off by saying my kids are both doing well. My daughter's birthday is coming up, which she's very excited about. My son is also doing better, but he's still a little upset. A few days after my first post, I was tucking him in when he asked me why Blair had been so mean to them. Yeah, why? Why Blair? There was no way to answer that question that felt fair to my children. She lied to them because she wanted to. She did what she did to manipulate us. I don't know whether she expected me and my husband to put our careers and sanities on hold to join them in July, or to let her take our children to frickin' Florida without their parents. Either way, it's not happening. We weren't sure how to deal with this. Going low contact felt too much like a maybe, which I already know means yes in Blair. But cutting ties felt like too much. In the end, we decided on a timeout period. She won't have any type of contact with the kids until the holidays. We'll extend that period if necessary. I told both her and my father about this over the weekend. She cried, and my father and I fought again. There wasn't really anything remarkable about what was said at first. It just felt like the same as other fights we've had in the past, so I didn't register much. Then he started comparing Blair to my children. One of the things he said was, when kids are excited about something, it's fine, but when Blair is, you have to rain on it. What? Why would you compare her to children? She is a grown adult.
Because she acts like one.
She's older than OP here, so she shouldn't, unless she's not. Maybe she's a young grandma, like a young person, like stepmom. I don't know. Okay. That's what really pissed me off. I told him Blair is not a child. If he wants to treat her like one, that's on them. But he can't expect me to parent a 40-year-old something woman who can't understand the word no when it's said to her.
Wait, Blair's the guy or girl?
Blair's the wife. The mom. Father's just father. Blair is the mother or the stepmom. I did have another conversation with my father the next day, and it was more peaceful. He apologized the most what he said, but a lot of it sounded like damage control. I told him we needed some space. We're not cutting ties, but we'll probably have less contact for a while. In retrospect, I think I wrote that original post because I couldn't understand where Blair was coming from. Now I realize I don't have to. I've been tolerating Blair's behavior for years, but I can't allow my kids to be affected by it again. I think I explained my family mostly well in the comments last time, but feel free to ask me whatever you want to know. Thank you for your reassurance. Someone's like, good job at putting up boundaries and enforcing them. My mother-in-law had about 4 to 5 years of a timeout, and my oldest is only 7. Some people never learn. And OP responded, wouldn't be surprised if we ended up not seeing Blair until after our trip next year. Well,
might not be a bad idea.
Might not. So, yeah, I mean, there's just sometimes I like that. I like how she's like, I don't want to cut ties because that just seems way too strong, but I feel like if they said low contact, that there would still be way too many miscommunications with Blair. So I like how they said we need a timeout and just a brief temporary time where you don't have contact. I think just keep it low, like don't talk to them for a while. Just say, hey, we'll see you around the holidays, and keep it at that. I mean, Blair needs to learn boundaries. You know, these aren't her kids. This is her husband's child's kids, not even her own blood. And so she needs, at this point, as a step parent to OP, needs to know her boundaries. And she probably wasn't even a parent when OP was a kid, so it's probably like later. So, I don't know. I do have one more story. Let me see. Yeah. We're going to do it really quick. It's pretty quick. We'll start on one last one. And I think you'll like the title. It's from 2 days ago. r/AITH. I think they meant to say, am I the a-hole? But it just says, I think it's a knockoff one of that because it's just AITH. So am I the hole? I don't know. It's just AITH.
Donut hole?
Donut hole? Yeah. Am I the a-hole for locking my mother-in-law out of the house after she kept showing up uninvited at night?
Ooh.
Yeah, I can see you smiling at this. In your dreams, Justin.
She knows better.
No. Okay. So for the past few months, and by the way, my mom is not this person.
No, I'm just playing.
No, we're just playing. No, we have great people who know at least boundaries when coming over. So for the past few months, my mother-in-law has made it a habit to randomly show up at our house uninvited. And I'm not talking daytime visits. I mean late night, knock on your door when you're in your PJs kind of visits. The most ridiculous one was about 2 weeks ago. She showed up at 9:15 p.m. I let her in. 15 minutes later, she went to the kitchen and said, So there's no cooked pasta in this house. I'm hungry.
No pasta.
Yeah, I was shush. Must be Italian. No. No, Italians would be doing their own cooking. So I was shocked, but tried to be respectful and told her nicely that we weren't expecting guests and had already eaten. She scoffed, just full on attitude because I didn't have her preferred dinner ready. Another time around 9:30 p.m. she came again. No warning, no heads up. I just had put the kids to sleep and I was trying to wind down. I opened the door and I told her she really needs to call before coming over, especially this late. She cut me off and said, "I'm not a stranger in this house." Like that's an excuse to show up whenever she feels like? I have had enough. I spoke to my husband multiple times and he kept saying, "That's just how she is." Cool. But that's not how I am. And this is my house too. So yesterday she pulled up again around 8:50 p.m. I saw her through the window and I didn't even bother opening the door. I locked it, turned off the living room lights, and I let her knock. After 10 minutes of knocking, she called my husband, who was out at the time. He was not at the house at the time. He asked me why I wasn't letting her in, and I told him flat out, "Your mom isn't coming in tonight. I've talked to her. Yeah, I've talked to her. I've talked to you. Boundaries are not optional." Now she's playing the victim, telling family I locked her out in the cold. It was 26 degrees Celsius, which is about 78 degrees Fahrenheit.
Hey, that'd be cold for your mom.
That is so true. Our little inside joke every time my mom's like, "It's a chilly 80 degrees." Justin's always looking at her so baffled, like, "You think 80 degrees is chilly?" So then every time it's like super hot outside, like super hot, he'll always joke, be like, "It's a chilly 90 degrees out."
I'm just sweating in my armpits everywhere.
I swear the other morning
cold.
when I took the kids over, she walks out, she's like, "Oh, it's really cold out." And I'm like, "Mom, it's fine."
85 already. Come on.
Oh my word. So now she's playing the victim. It's 26 degrees Celsius or 78 degrees Fahrenheit outside. And she has her own darn house 10 minutes away. Am I the a-hole?
No.
No, obviously not. I mean, okay. If it was our own mothers, obviously I would open the door for them.
I'd tell her, "Run away, you'll lose the other leg."
Okay, you gotta stop saying that because they don't always know. His mom has...
Shh, it sounds better that way. Just
No, oh my word. Okay. If you guys are really that curious, you can always reach out to us and we'll give you the story. But you are gonna freak people out.
I know, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Gosh. Okay, anyways, if this was either one of our mothers, we would let them in. You would let them in. Because, honestly, they're always over for a reason. They usually let us know. And if they don't let us know, it's because they probably told us earlier, "We're going to come over later because we got something to drop off."
I don't care.
Our kids always come over to see the kids. Honestly, we don't care if people come over anytime.
As long as I'm not sleeping.
That's true. As long as we're not sleeping. So, I will say... that
better be important to wake
if
me up.
this was happening though, if one of our moms was doing like this type of behavior where they would just come in unexpected and they just ask for food and like very rudely, I don't know, I would be a little put out eventually and just be like, "Okay, I'm done being nice. Like we need to talk." But I have a wonderful husband when it comes to boundaries. He's not afraid to talk to anyone about those boundaries. So I don't have to have a husband to be like, "That's just the way she is."
Nope.
So I might be like that more.
I kick my own sister out when I'm ready to go to bed.
No, that's so true. But I think in the beginning when we were married and my mom, and I just be like, "You know how she is. We really can't do anything about it." And you're just like, "Yeah, you can." And now as I'm in this relationship and we've grown stronger and we have our own family, and I've definitely been more like, okay, we do need to set a boundary at times where it's just us. And nothing against my mom. I think she just loves the family so much and she just wants to do all she can for us. And there's a time when we have to be like, "We got this, Mom. It's okay. You can enjoy your time with dad. It's okay. Your kids are doing fine. Your grandkids are doing fine. So yeah.
No, they're not.
Yeah. Oh, don't do that. Because she will come over. She'll be like superhero coming flying right over right away if we say anything
It's
wrong.
chilly 70 in our house. They're almost dying from the cold.
Oh my word. Okay, so the top comment is, that's how you do it. What the heck is wrong with your husband, though?
That is true.
I will say, like, I'm sorry, you hear enough stories about guys about their moms, and they're like, that's just the way she's like. No.
He's a baby.
You are putting up with this still because you like how she comes over and babies you. You have your own wife now. You gotta set some boundaries. You know? You got your own life now. If you want to keep that wife, then you need to show up. You need to have some boundaries with your own mom. You left her house for a reason, eh? So keep it that way. Next comment down was saying, what's wrong with hubby? He is a mama's boy who prefers to piss off his wife more than his mother. His wife will come around, but he doesn't know what mommy will do, and he's scared she'll stop talking to him. He needs his mommy.
She'll hit him.
Yeah. I will never understand how these spineless men convince women to marry them. Well, I don't know either, actually. You hear enough stories about that. So, men, grow up, get some boundaries. Women, find out if they're a mommy's boy first. I guess. I don't know. Sometimes people will break off relationships just because of the in-laws. Mm-hmm. But I mean, if you truly love someone, then you really can't. I don't know. That's a really hard one because
Heard lots of stories.
Well, we heard lots of stories about how in-laws can be just so monstrous towards the wife or even the husband, either one. And it's like, do you want? And if they're close to you, like, do you want to deal with that all the time? Do you want to deal with that stress and that kind of like that, just that anxiety from how he's having to deal with them of how they are treating you? Like, no, you don't deserve that. So there are times depending on what's going on, like if the spouse is not willing to make boundaries or stand up for you, like they should know how the in-laws are treating their spouse and be like, no, don't do that. They don't deserve that. You don't have any right to talk that way to my wife or husband. So I will say, like, I guess know the person you're marrying if they're going to stand up for you, because you can have the best person ever be married to and just know their in-laws are going to be monsters, but they'll do anything to stand up for you.
I guarantee nothing changed from the past. They were already like that. They just overlooked it. And they thought they could change them.
Well, that's what I'm saying to the women or men, depending on whose side it is. But I'm like, really know that the person you're dating, if their in-laws are after you and that person, your other, like your partner or your whoever you're dating, is not going to stand up for you or defend you or stand up to their own parents and be like, don't talk to them like that or don't treat them like that, then I'm sorry, if they already basically let you take all the just the trash talk from them, then they're going to be like that after marriage. They're going to be like that when you have kids. And when are they ever going to stand up for you, because you're going to be burned out so quickly. So, but yeah, no, that was just a little bit of what 2 cents right there at the end about marriage, because marriage is wonderful when you find that person. And yeah, so guys, that's it for the stories I have for the day. They were just like, quick ones I love having with Justin. That first one though, I'm sorry, I'm glad I started with that first one because that was great. So shout out again to Mr. Attic. You are the person who was probably the MVP of this whole episode. Do you have anything you want to add?
Good job, Mr. Attic.
Good job, Mr. Attic. Yeah, no, like I said at the end, I was going to say how we've just been so busy this summer. We've been, I swear we've gone on a trip to Minneapolis. I think I mentioned that one of the other podcasts. It was literally around that time that was kind of devastating. But we had a fun time going to a children's concert with the kids. Everything was still really safe. So it ended up being a really good trip in the end. We've gone camping recently. I haven't gone in over 10 years and went camping with my side of the family. And kids loved it. We went Friday night and Sunday until Sunday over like literally the whole weekend. And by the end, I'm still pumped, wanting to go out and maybe do a hike or something. We did a hike after, and my kids were like done. They were like, okay guys, bye, we're gonna go home. And I'm like, wait, I thought we were gonna do this other thing. Like, I'm the parent here telling them I thought we were gonna do more, and they're like, we want to go home. And I'm like, okay, that's my sign that we need to get out more so my kids can get used to the outdoors more. I think I just did too much to them all in one weekend. So I'm like, this is what I did growing up. So I was like pumped because it brought up so many memories. But yeah, I mean, summer's going by really quick, and I'm not ready because I'm already getting emails from the schools about starting things up. So,
Okay. Yes.
I know. To you, it's not any different because I don't know. I have those things on my mind all the time. For you, you're just cruising every day. You're working every day. So I am too. But okay, guys. Like I said, if you have any suggestions of other stories you want us to go off, any themes you want us to go off of, like I got a bunch of them. Sometimes I've just been randomly just picking up stories. Today, these stories were very much just the entitlement, the crazy bizarreness of how people act when they find out literally just a little bit of information that they think they can do better on. It's just weird how these people act. I don't know how people act like this. I couldn't be with a group of people that act like that. But, so, in this case, if you have any other stories that you would like us to say, like to tell on here, you can email us at the Reddit Randos at gmail.com. You can either also click on the link on at the end of the description of any of the podcast platforms you guys are listening on to for our podcast. Click on that. You can directly text us on that. But yeah, like I'm going to be out there more on social media eventually. Working on that, as I say all the time. Life gets busy when you're working full time and have a family of 5. So everyone who knows that. So you're with me. But I guess this is the end.
Mm-hmm.
You're so tired. You're so tired. Okay, guys. Well, Justin's got a busy day tomorrow of working some more. So wish him good night.
All right.
Okay. We'll talk to you later, guys. Bye.
Bye.